Hello, ericshibo.com, and today I'm going to present you this lens by TTArtisan, the 50mm F0.95. Yes, less than one. Okay, so this is what I call a lens for the bokeholic or bokeh or something like this. Okay, obviously friendly I say it. Okay, so let's start. So here's the beast. So let's have a look at it. Okay, so this is a fantastic lens. The build is crazy, really nice, fully metal. Even the cap is metal, as you can see. Well, it exists in several mounts. I've tested it with my Fujifilm X-E1, but you can have it in Fujifilm X, obviously, Canon M, Nikon Z, Micro Four Third, Canon RF, and L. Okay, so you have several options. I tested with this, but you could have it with others. Okay, this is a 50mm lens with an aperture, maximum aperture of 0.95, and it goes up to f16. As you can hear, listen to that. Wonderful. With so many lenses lately with no clicks, I just love when there is precise clicks, and these one are wonderful. By the way, something a bit strange, but it's not the first time I see that with TTArtisan lenses. They don't have f11. You have all of them up to f16, but no f11. At the start, 0.95, sorry, then half stops, up to f4, and then you have only full stop, f4, 5, 6, f8, f11, sorry, f16. Okay, so really it's not a problem, because you'll see that normally you don't go that high anyway. Okay, although you have a metal cap, you still can put a filter. This is a 58mm size filter thread. Okay, and the lens is 100% manual, not just the aperture, but also the focusing. Okay, the focusing ring is so smooth, really perfect, precise, really nice. As you can see here, the stripes here is actually to have a kind of grip here. Okay, and it's inside. Okay? It's not over it. Okay, so inside you can look that they painted like some silver paint. It's a bit different. It looked like the inside of an oyster. I don't know how I could say that, but that's really beautiful, really beautiful and precise. If you look at the aperture, I don't know if you see that. So here, massive and really round. Okay, you have 10 blades to give a really butter smooth bokeh. Okay, really nice. You have 8 elements in 6 groups, and yeah, the weight is 411 grams. So it's not light. You know, it's obviously it's acceptable, but it's not a light lens. It's really metal. You feel what you have in your hand. Okay, really great. So one thing I should warn. Okay, when someone buys that kind of lens, whether this one or other really wide aperture, I had a Noctilux by Leica 1.0. Now they also have a 0.95. Okay, you don't buy that kind of lens thinking of sharpness. You buy the lens because you want to have a nice out of focus area, which we call the bokeh. It's different bokeh from a shallow depth of field. Okay, I'll leave you a link here, a review I made, a video I made about that. Okay, but you want this lens for the aspect of the bokeh, which is as creamy as possible in this case. So when you make your picture, you give as much importance to the autofocus part as the part in focus. Okay, so you will notice that kind of lenses are not sharp. In the place where it's sharp, they're not sharp. You see some kind of sharpness because the difference between the out of focus and the in focus part is so big that you do see it seems like it's sharper, you know? But they're not really sharp. Actually, I made a test of my Noctilux 1.0 compared to a Canon 1.0 at that time, an old Canon. Okay, and people were like, oh, that's not sharp at all. No, that's not a sharp lens. Okay, I don't have that review because I published on Flickr many years ago. I don't have it anymore. Okay, and really, you do not buy this to have sharpness. You buy this because you want an atmosphere, a specific look, something really maybe romantic, or I don't know how I could say that. Okay, so I'll show you some pictures during the video, and I put all of them at the end. Okay, but I'll show you so you have an idea of what I speak about. Okay, so it means that when you have this in mind, you understand how it works, and you don't ask for things you don't actually get with a lens like this. You don't ask for sharpness. You ask for buttery bokeh. Okay, so the thing is, when you buy a lens like this, logically, you're going to use it at the widest aperture, or maybe close a bit, but not probably f8, f16. This is nonsense. For that, if you're going to buy a lens like this, to use it always on f8, well, buy another lens, so 1.4 or 2.8, and then use them mainly on f8. Okay, but if you buy this, is to use it at the widest aperture because you want to have this specific look. People like it, some people don't like it. If you don't like it, obviously don't buy this lens. Okay, if you like it, this is the lens for it. Okay, and this has two problems. First of all, so much light comes in, so much in daytime. Nighttime no problem, but daytime so much light that maybe your shutter speed cannot be high enough. On this one, it's 1/4000th of a second, so sometimes I could not do it. I had to close. Okay, so our advice, if you're going to do daytime picture with this lens at widest aperture, get an ND filter. I think ND8 3 stops should be fine. Okay, you place it 58mm diameter, and that's it. And that's the first problem. Second problem, the depth of field is so shallow that very often you will not have everything you want in focus. It means if I do a small herb, that's no problem. I want this piece of herb that is in focus, and the rest is just butter. But let's say I do a portrait. If the person is in front of you like this, facing you, no problem. Both eyes will be in focus. But if it's slightly like this, one of the eye will be out of focus. So then you need to close a bit. The minimum focusing distance is 50 centimeters. I wish it was a bit closer to do like some proxy or creamy proxy, okay? But its minimum is 50, which is okay. And for portrait, that's fine also. But take this into account. If you do a portrait and you're really close, it's going to be really hard to have both eyes in focus. So put straight in front of you. If you don't want that style, close a bit, unless you are okay with one eye out of focus, but you must know that. Okay, for focusing this, that's not easy, okay, because it's manual focusing, and you should activate the focus peaking that tell you exactly where you're in focus. So at the widest aperture, it's easy to be out of focus because you move or the subject is moving. But if nothing is moving, not you and not the subject, that's easy because it's so shallow that you see exactly where it's in focus. At f4 it's a bit more difficult. Well, actually it's more difficult on this camera because the focus peaking has only white dots. The XE2, XE3 of this, you have colored dots like red, yellow, green, you can pick, okay? But as it's white, sometimes it's not easy to see for me, okay? So if you activate the focus peaking, you shouldn't have much problem. What you will also notice that from 0.95 up to 2.8, it is so creamy that you also lose contrast. It's not really contrasty. It's really like fog, you know. It's really special. Okay, you like it, you don't like it. Okay, but if you want something a bit more contrasty, at f4 it starts to be a bit more contrasty. But honestly, I think that's a style. You like it, you don't like it, but I would not ask a lens like this what it cannot do, what it doesn't do, but pick this lens because you like the effect it gives, okay? And actually, it reminds me a lot of my Noctilux 1.0. Leica has now 0.95 also, but the price is not the same. I paid like 7,000 euros at that time for my Noctilux 1.0. I don't have it anymore because I sold all my Leica gear, digital gear I had and everything, and then I bought later analog Leica, okay? And I don't have the Noctilux anymore. this is such a special lens that sometimes if you abuse of this bokeh craziness, you get fed up one day. You say, well, too much, okay, like too sweet, okay? But if you've spent 7,000 euros on a lens, that hurts not to be using it, okay? But if you paid this, that's really a lot cheaper, but really a lot cheaper. If you don't use it for a while, that's no drama. I think this lens is great to add to your kits because from time to time you will search for this special look, romantic look, foggy look. I don't know how to explain. So you get this lens and make few shots and that's it. Or sometimes you will spend the whole day with this lens. But this is a lens you need to work with, learn the lens, learn the effects, work on it, okay? Because you will get great results if you understand exactly its limits and its benefits, its pro and its con, okay? If you look for sharpness, that's not the lens. If you look for contrast, that's not the lens. If you look for pure butter, that's the lens, okay? So did I like this lens? Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's really funny. That's not the kind of picture I normally do. I don't like to have all people lost in bokeh, as I said, okay, or you caress the hair with bokeh, okay. But I think for some pictures, especially with plants, I like it because it gives really strange look, or I don't know how to explain. Really, I like it. Also, many people use this wide aperture. I don't speak about this lens, but wide aperture in general, because they don't know how to compose. So for them, if there's a problem in the background, they just put it out of focus and that's it. I think that's not the way to go, okay, because you still see some shape and things. So it's important to keep learning how to compose well, although you put everything in the background out of focus. So honestly, would I recommend this lens? Well, if it costs the price of an Octilux, I would say no, and not even an Octilux unless you're in love with the look, okay? If you look at this one, the price it costs, I say yes, get one. It's fun. You do some things that are different. You place your subject in butter space, I don't know how you call that. That's fun. That's really funny. So I think you can do some things that can be beautiful and creative and do things really different. So I think this is really a bokeh machine. You know, it's nice lens to have for that price, and the build quality is brilliant. The optical quality is hard to judge because the autofocus, if I judge it, yes, it's really smooth, really incredible, really nice, okay? So yes, I fully recommend this lens with no reserve, okay? So I fully recommend it, okay? If you want it, I'll leave you the link in the description where you can buy it. They started to sell from May 6th, 2022, so it's just yesterday, so it's available now, okay? So thank you very much TTArtisan for sending me the lens. Thank you very much to you for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Small button down here says small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website ericchipo.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave you links of my gear on Amazon, links of everything I've reviewed by K&F Concept and Sandmark, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you. And now YouTube has put a small heart with a $sign, so you can do an online donation through YouTube also. So thank you very much. Even if you don't do a donation, I thank you also to watch the video, okay? And see you soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.